Here, everyone. Today, we're going to do something a little different. We're zooming in on just one day here in Hastings, Minnesota, Saturday, April 11th. We'll kick things off with the weather, the practical stuff, and then we're going to dig into some pretty amazing history that all happened on this exact date. So let's just dive right in. This quote from HastingsNow.com, it just nails it, doesn't it? I mean, you can almost feel that, right? That classic spring day by the Mississippi. It's calm, a little crisp, but you know something's coming. It's the perfect way to describe the day we've got ahead of us.
Okay, so let's get down to it. First things first, the forecast. If you've got anything planned for today in Hastings, anything at all, grabbing coffee, running errands, you're gonna wanna pay attention to this.
Okay, take a look at these numbers. The thing that really jumps out at me is that temperature range. A high of 50 and a low of 48? Wow, that means it's not really going to cool off at all. Plus, the wind is picking up, with gusts hitting 25 miles per hour. And you see that alert? A hazardous weather outlook? The takeaway here is pretty simple. Just keep your eyes open today.
And then there's this. This is the big one, 80%. An 80% chance of rain. That's not a maybe, folks. That's pretty much a guarantee. And this little number, it's going to define the whole second half of our Saturday.
So really, today is a tale of two halves. It's like a game with two completely different periods. The morning, that's your window. It's going to be calmer, drier, your best shot for getting outside. But come 3 p.m., the game changes. The whole script flips, and that's when you can expect the rain and maybe even a few rumbles of thunder to show up. So, knowing all that, what do you do? How do you still make it a great day? Well, it's all about planning ahead a little bit. Let's talk about how to prep for this soggy afternoon.
Okay, this is all pretty simple stuff, but it makes a huge difference. First, obviously, grab a rain jacket or an umbrella. Second, probably not the day for your brand new shoes, right? Third, and this is key, get your errands done early. And last, number 4, if you're going to be out this evening, just have that radar app ready on your phone. It'll be a lifesaver.
All right, to wrap up the weather, a little local humor for you. Hastings is getting the full spring sampler today. A chilly start, a rainy afternoon, and thunder for dessert. It's kind of true, though, isn't it? We're getting a taste of everything. But you know what? The weather is just one part of the story today. April 11th has a lot more going on. So let's totally switch gears now, because this particular date, April 11th, it's packed with history. We're going to jump in a time machine and look at 3 very different but all very important things that happened on this day.
And we're going to start right here, close to home on our river, the Mississippi. We're talking way back in 1680, long before Hastings was even a dot on a map. This is a huge story in Minnesota's history, and it all went down on this exact day.
So picture this. It's April 11th, 1680. Father Louis Hennepin is paddling north on the Mississippi. Suddenly, his whole trip gets turned upside down. He's taken captive by a group of Dakota. But here's the twist. It's while he's a captive that he lays eyes on the incredible falls upriver, the ones he would later name St. Anthony Falls. And that's the real takeaway here. It always comes back to the river. For a town like Hastings, that history is literally flowing right by us every single day. It's just such a powerful link to the past that made this whole area what it is. All right, let's fast forward a big jump, over 200 years. We're leaving the river behind and heading for the ocean, and we're trading in canoes for a piece of tech that absolutely revolutionized how navies fight. On this day, April 11th, 1900, the U.S. Navy bought its very first submarine, the Holland. And get this, it was basically a hybrid. It ran on gasoline when it was on the surface, but then it switched to electric batteries when it went underwater. How cool is that for 1900? It was a total game changer and really set the stage for all the submarines that came after. Okay, for our last stop on this little trip through time, we're not just leaving the ocean, we are leaving the planet. On April 11th, 1970, a mission launched for the moon that would become legendary, but for all the wrong reasons. You know the one I'm talking about. Apollo 13. So on this day at 1:13 p.m. Central Time, Apollo 13 blasted off. The plan was to go to the moon, but we all know that's not what happened. The mission turned into this incredible, nail-biting story of survival. It's famous not because they walked on the moon, but because they managed to get home at all. Just an amazing story of problem-solving under pressure. So, that brings us back to today, back to Hastings on a Saturday with rain on the way. And you think, It's just a day defined by some thunderstorms, right? But it's also a day that's connected to this deep history of exploration on the river, game-changing innovation, and just unbelievable human resilience. It really makes you think, doesn't it? What makes any ordinary day unforgettable? So later, when that rain starts to fall, maybe you'll think about Father Hennepin seeing those falls for the first time, or those engineers in Houston refusing to give up. It just shows you an ordinary day is never really just ordinary. It's always full of stories. So the real question is, what story will you make today? Thanks so much for joining me.